Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for our virtual college visit today. Today we are joined by Julia Nathanson from the Virginia Tech College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences. Thank you for joining us, Julia. It's students, we do have one student that is here, and if we have any other students that join us, we ask that you, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat box, and there'll be a question and answer time later on in the presentation. Julia, thank you for joining us. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here. Like you said, I'm Julia. I'm a current sophomore at Virginia Tech in the College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences. I'm also joined here with my supervisor, Megan. She's also just going to be here in case there's any other questions that I'm able to answer since I'm only a sophomore. But yes, I'm just going to go through a brief overview of my experience in the College of Liberal Arts and my application process, just my experiences in general, and then we'll get into a little bit of a Q&A. So yeah, I will send in the chat a link to a Google form that you can fill out. This is just to gauge your interest in what majors you would be interested in the College of Liberal Arts. So yeah. So I'm Julia, like I said, I'm a sophomore at Virginia Tech. I graduated from Atlee in 2019. I'm majoring in human development and minoring in psychology, as well as peace studies and social justice. All right, and these are just some of the activities that I was involved in high school. NHS and Beta, Astra, Yearbook, SOTA, Emerging Leaders, and Robotics. As you can see, a lot of it is just service-oriented because that's something that I was and still am very passionate about. So one tip that I don't have on this slide is just to make sure that you're joining clubs and organizations if you're able to. I know it's very different with COVID, but just try and join clubs that you're interested in and you think will help you kind of figure out what you want to do in college and after college. Another tip that I have is to start your essays for your college applications early. This doesn't mean that you have to get them 100% done right away, but just starting them will be very beneficial because over time you'll be able to add to the essays and you can keep going back and revising them just so you're also not rushed right when applications are due. Also using a planner or spreadsheet to stay organized was really helpful for me when I was applying to colleges because I could just write out everything that I needed to complete for each application just so I knew that I wasn't going to miss any part of the application. And then just try not to stress too much. I know it can be a very stressful time searching for colleges to go to, applying to colleges, but it'll all work out in the end. And yeah, those are the tips that I have. Megan, if you have any other tips as well, feel free to jump in. Okay, cool. So why did I choose Virginia Tech? This is gonna sound a little weird, but when I was searching for colleges, I didn't really even consider Virginia Tech. I just knew I wanted a really big school that I could still be challenged academically. And Tech was really far away. It was 3.5 hours away from home. And I was like, it's a bit too far. But when I visited campus, the sense of community and school spirit that I experienced when coming to campus the 3 times that I visited before I got in, that really solidified it for me, just really instilled in me the fact that Tech was the place for me because I really wanted a school that had a lot of school spirit and a place that felt like home. The location for me also was a big thing. Like I said, it was kind of far away from home, but it was just far enough away where I could still visit home. And it's also in the mountains, which I think is beautiful. The campus is amazing. It's also a large school, but I liked that the College of Liberal Arts, it helped make the big campus a lot smaller and just more personal. So as you can see, we have a lot of majors in the College of Liberal Arts. We have 35 exact, and then 50 minors that you could add. When you apply, you can only apply to one major, but once you're accepted and enrolled, you can add another major, double major, do a dual degree. You can add minors. Like I said before, I have 2 minors, and it's really easy to add a minor. For me, all I had to do was fill out a form for each minor on the Virginia Tech page, and then I emailed the supervisor that was in charge of that major or minor, just talked through with them why I was interested in adding the minor, and they just helped me out with that. But it's super easy. Um, so why did I choose my specific major? I decided to choose human development because I knew that I wanted to help people in some aspect post college. I didn't really know coming into college what exactly I wanted to do as a career, but I knew in human development that I would be able to figure that out through the classes that I'm taking. I actually started out at Tech as a university studies major, which is just the major for students who are undecided in what they want to do. So I started out in that, and throughout the semester where I took a specific class within university studies, I learned more about human development and realized that this is really what I was interested in. And I learned that there were lots of experiential learning opportunities, which is now one of my favorite parts of my major, as well as research. Um, my favorite human development class, it kind of goes along with the research thing. My favorite class is my Principles of Human Services class that I took last fall. It introduced me to a program called Math Buddies, and it's what I'm currently doing research on with the Learning and Development Lab here on campus. I just did this program through the class because we have to do a service learning project for the whole semester. And it just really showed me that I really like working with kids. I didn't think that I did before, but it really helped me learn a lot about myself, which is really surprising as a sophomore in college. But that's one of my favorite parts of my major so far, being able to do those service learning opportunities to help get me connected with the field that I want to join after college. So some activities that I'm involved in at Virginia Tech. I'm a College of Liberal Arts ambassador, so that's why I'm here now. I am in the Chi Omega sorority. I'm part of Hillel on campus, which is just a Jewish organization for Jewish students across the United States. I'm also part of Relay for Life, and I'm an honor council panel member. It's really easy to get involved on campus. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different clubs and organizations that you can join. So if you have any questions about those, I'm happy to answer that because I know it can be a little overwhelming looking into that, but it's very easy to get involved both inside and outside of the classroom. And these are some of my favorite events and traditions on campus, just at Tech in general. There's so much that goes on within a semester, so it's kind of hard to pick just a few favorites, but the civilian versus cadet snowball fights are one of my favorite things to experience here on campus. Every winter where it snows a lot, the cadets on campus and the civilians, that's just the other students, there's just a huge snowball fight on the drill field, and it's insane. Last year there was, I want to say like 100, 200 people on the drill field. It's having a big snowball fight. It's just those little moments that really make it special. Also Relay for Life. It's something that I've been involved in for a really long time, and it's something that's really close to me. And the whole school comes together. Typically, like before COVID, we would all come together on the drill field, just walk around the drill field, do different events to raise money for cancer research through the American Cancer Society. And the big event is another volunteer-based event on campus. Football games are one of my personal favorites as well. And then jumping to enter Sandman. That's just something that happens at the beginning of each football game. And just the school spirit that goes along with that is just, it's just so fun. It makes each experience in Lane Stadium so much more fun. And then Gobbler Fest, personally, I really like Gobbler Fest. This is just a place where you can, usually it's on the drill field, you can sign up to join different clubs and organizations, learn more about the different organizations on campus. and just kind of see what you're interested in doing on campus as well. But yeah, that's enough about me. Do you have any questions about anything that I've mentioned? Just any general questions?
Julia, that was fantastic. In the chat, Nicole is saying that students are not able to access the Google form. So just want to let you know that.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay.
I'm working on it. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Megan. I was gonna say, I'm not sure how to fix that, but thank you, Megan. Hopefully we can get that fixed soon so you can fill that out.
So Julia,
I guess I can mention a little bit.
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say that I could mention really quick a little bit about the class sizes, specifically in the College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences. Typically, they're a bit smaller, especially as you go up in, what's the word? Course level, I guess. So the intro level courses, they're going to be a bit bigger, like bio classes, just the gen ed classes in general. But as you go up through the 2000, 3000, and 4000 level classes, they get a bit smaller. And personally, I really like that because you get to make more personal connections with your professor and your peers as well. So that's something that I really like about the College of Liberal Arts, just the smaller class sizes, because it helps you. Personally, it helped me just make more personal connections. So I'm more comfortable speaking with my professors, asking any questions, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Julia, I know a question that's pretty common has to do with dorm rooms and that kind of thing. With COVID, how has COVID changed how the dorm room life has been freshman year versus your sophomore year?
That's a great question. So from what I've seen, because I have friends who are freshmen this year, and I also live in my sorority house this year, so it's kind of like a dorm because it's on campus. But from my understanding, it's fairly similar to how it normally is, just 2 people to a room. We have to wear masks everywhere when you're in the hallways, going in and out of the buildings. If you have guests in your rooms, you have to wear masks just for safety reasons. But from my understanding with dorm rooms and everything, they're trying to be as safe as possible and just only having 2 people to a room, because in past years they've had 3 people to a room when there's been more students accepted, but they're definitely just trying to social distance everyone as much as possible and just making sure everyone wears masks when they need to for safety reasons.
Okay, that's good information. And I'm very interested in the cadet versus civilian snowball fight. That sounds like a lot of fun. So, well, thank you for everything.
It's very fun.
Joining us.
Yeah.
I really appreciated the tips for preparing for college. That we send that information out to kids. We talk about that all the time. But coming from a recent Hanover County Schools graduate, I think that means a lot. So, but if you don't have anything else to add, we're gonna stop the recording unless anybody has any questions. All right. Thank you very much for joining us, Julia.
Yep, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for letting me come in and talk to you guys.
Of course.